Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I'm Thomas Jenkins, and if it looks like I'm trimming up a little bit, I've been on the Taco Bell lettuce diet. This is WFUZ-TV's The People's Voice podcast. I'm in the studio with Blair Castro. Blair, what's running?
Hey, so speaking of potentially dying, did you know that Mitch McConnell has been missing for 42 days now?
Did you get a hold of that lettuce because he's a turtle?
That would make a lot of sense. It's been 42 days since anyone's seen him officially. Just putting that out there for the world to be reminded of. Speaking of things we want the world to be reminded of, there's a gubernatorial race taking place right now all over the country, but particularly in our state of Alabama.
Is that a race for peanuts?
Yes, goober. That's the peanut and the jelly mixed together. The goober. That's good stuff. 90s kids know. Yeah, it's Doug Jones running against Tommy Tuberville. And I wrote in our group the other day, I was like, who do you absolutely refuse to vote for? And everybody was like, Tommy Tuberville or Doug Jones. They were like one or the other. That's a very like polarizing race, I guess. And for me, I was right away like Tuberville because as a Republican, I don't like feeling like they already chose for me, that they took my choice away. They just picked this guy that nobody in our party really liked or wanted. Everybody says, well, lesser of two evils. I just refuse to vote Democrat, so I'm voting for Tommy Tuberville. Do you understand that by doing that, you're giving the power to the remaining in the powers that be and letting them just select for you? Like they're essentially
That's big government.
Stifling our decision-making process, and it's not fair.
And let's go down the list of why I'm not a Tuberville fan. Yeah. Said no to releasing the Epstein files until caving to political pressure.
Doesn't live here.
Pro data center. Auburn sucks. What else?
Doesn't know the three branches of government.
Yeah.
There's that one too. There's a lot of reasons. John Gray. There's a couple more. So aside from that, Doug Jones, I don't know that much about him and his governor's race. I know about his term as a senator, and I went online, I was researching it, and he made a good point about something. We keep talking about how Alabama has the best of this, the best of that, it's the best state ever. Realistically, we're not the best state ever because we have one of the lowest rankings for education, the lowest ranking healthcare and mental health care systems in the country. Like, are we really putting our heads in the sand and pretending like these issues don't exist here and that we don't have a poverty problem and a homelessness problem and all kinds of other stuff happening? It's just ridiculous to me that we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting results and expecting change. We have to do something real to stop these problems from happening, and maybe it needs to be addressed in a different way than what we keep electing and being told to do.
And why is it happening? I've lived in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, and my whole life it's been a race to the bottom amongst the three states, and I don't understand it. And before you say, oh, well, Doug Jones is a Democrat, let's not forget that Kay Ivey, who always puts an R by her name when she casts a vote, said that unvaccinated people were a problem during the pandemic. I will never forget that, and that's, Republican or not, that was abhorrent, and it goes to show that just because someone has a letter or an associated color with their party doesn't mean that they're going to go along with what the people actually think.
So many Republicans are RINOs, and so many Republicans who supposedly believe in small government and states' rights actually support federal power and imposition. They want to just pretend the 10th Amendment doesn't exist and tell the states what to do all the time. Like right now about flock cameras, there's different legislation being proposed, which I'm on board with withholding federal funding from them and, doing what you can on a federal level for federal agencies. But you can't just go in and tell the states or a local municipality that they can and cannot do something when they already voted on it and they already have it in place. That's just not a thing that the federal government should be coming in and doing. If you're a Republican, you would reserve that to the states to make their own choices, let the jurisdiction decide, and it feels anti-Republican for the feds and the Congress to step in and mandate things. I'm just not a mandate federal government overpower kind of gal, I guess.
Right. Why is the party of small government flocking the shit out of the redneck Riviera even more so than places like Mobile?
Yeah, we have more flock cameras than them. They're looking at it for everything, and I'm sure it helps with some things, and I'm sure it doesn't. There's just a lot there that I think we really need to look at to why it's happening, who's doing it. Is it the state? Is it the local? Is it the federal government? Who's trying to stop it, and why are they trying to stop it? And who's fighting for it, and why are they fighting for it? And figure out what's really going on. I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised by flock cameras. I have been knowing since the Patriot Act when I was in high school and I wrote a whole big paper on the Patriot Act and how it was an invasion of privacy and how they were constantly using it to spy on Americans. Like, I've known since the year 2001 that was happening. This isn't really anything new. And if you think that they're not looking at everything you type on your phone, everything when you're driving around, that they can't see your car from satellites or red light cameras or whatever else, like, the flock cameras are really, in addition to that, to me, like, it's not that different from what's been going on since 2001.
If you're not doing anything wrong, you've got nothing to fear.
And it's not so much a fear. I don't like invading privacy either, and I'm not a fan of them. But is it really different from what's been happening? Are we just getting more public about it? Because it's been happening behind the scenes.
So let's pivot to the District 1 congressional race, shall we?
Yes, so we had Mr. Clyde Jones on the show. He is a Democrat running for that seat. So for those of you that are saying we have no good choices, they want something else, there is a Democrat running. And he's a veteran, which we talked about with him. When you see the interview when he gets posted soon, like, he comes at things with a more compassionate approach. And, going back to what Doug Jones was saying on his platform, how we're the lowest in a lot of things. We are actually the lowest in maternal health care. So I know one big issue. I'll never vote for a Democrat because they aren't pro-life. Yet Republicans are claiming to be pro-life, but then we have the lowest mother mortality rate when it comes to maternal health care in the country. The highest one. More women die giving birth here than anywhere else in the United States. And then we don't necessarily hook them up with Medicaid or assistance with their health care or postpartum help, and the baby doesn't get health care. And it's just a disaster, to be honest. So if you're really pro-life, I think those things need to be handled along with the birth. Don't just worry about that, but worry about all the resources and things that come with it. Just my opinion. I'm a person who wants people to thrive and live and not just exist. So
yeah, put all that aside and let's just talk about the part where a heavily contentious topic in this district has been VA reform and more support for veterans. He is a veteran, and the VA is a social program of sorts, and maybe just for checks and balances sake, because remember, we are run by a two-party system and we can't have too much of one or too much of the other, or it gets all out of whack. So maybe it would be wise to put a Democrat in that social program position to maybe see if they can come up with different ideas for upgrading the VA experience for the local area.
And speaking of that race, I just want to say I appreciate Jerry Carl, because when he came and did our show, he was very humble. He's very down to earth. He's just a person. I like when people can come on the show and just not have this massive wall up, a huge entourage of people with them. I like when they talk to you directly. They'll answer things.
Or a babysitter.
They'll pick up the phone. They'll do other things. And it is nice that he was like that. And, just shout out to John Wall. He was like that. He's now the lieutenant governor. He just came in here by himself, did the interview, was really cool, talked to us like humans, and left. So I don't care who you are. That's why I gave my little thing about Tuberville and Doug Jones. I would like to talk to both of them. I would like to assess it myself. And I would like for them to not think too big of themselves and be willing to come talk to regular people. They like to throw pictures up on their campaign page. Every candidate does. Look at me talking to this person down in the slums. Look at me on a boat with this person. Like, I'd like to see them come in and talk to us as real people. So I hope that they're willing to do that, because I can be convinced either one of them can come take the time and convince me. But the data center thing is a big issue for me, talking about that.
Yeah, and so maybe if your position is you're anti-data center, maybe don't use AI in every frickin' social media post you make.
And it's not only the ugly ass flyers, it's also your hashtags, your writing, and AI.
Portrait pictures.
AI is a great tool. AI helps with everything. But it is a tool. It is not Google Scholar. It is not LexisNexis. It is not a source.
Alexis, Texas.
Yes. Sounds like a drag queen. A drag queen story hour.
No.
With Alexis, Texas. So it's not the truth. It's AI. It's a tool. It scans the internet and accumulates that and summarizes it. And the internet is full of falsities. So don't take it as the be all end all of information. It is not. And also, everyone can freaking tell when you make something with it and you're driving away the Gen Zs and younger people that you claim to want to get involved, yet the AI is turning them off. And it's turning me off, and I'm a millennial. So I just think, don't be a hypocrite. If you don't like data centers, don't use all the AI.
Just saying.
Yeah. I guess touching real quick on our local government, you should really pay attention, people out there, to federal, state, and local. Pay attention to all of it 'cause it's all interconnected, and the same people kind of have their hands at all the little plates, the buffet table here. On the Gulf Shores level, I just wanted to say Hangout Fest was supposed to happen this year, and it didn't happen. For those of you that may have forgot, Robert Kraft slid that into a city council meeting that we wouldn't be having it, and then it didn't happen. Supposedly it's happening next year. Have not gotten confirmation or seen a lineup or heard anything about it since. I would be curious to know. I guess it is happening next year. And Sand in My Boots is the same thing as Hangout. That music festival that we all count on.
I think the community is more riled up about them changing the day of the Mardi Gras parade here coming up on this Monday meeting.
Yes. You guys are very passionate online about the Mardi Gras parade being on Fat Tuesday. You guys are passionate about that. I don't care if it's moved to a different day. That's just me. I'm willing to say that. You guys probably won't like that very much.
Keep it in New Orleans where it belongs.
I think it's a waste of taxpayer money if you're going to have a half-assed Mardi Gras parade. Let's just be real. Combined with Orange Beach, just go to the Orange Beach one. Everybody get together in this area. We're really too small to have competing Mardi Gras parades. And the fee to get in it last year and the location was just absolutely horrific. Like, I know it's going to be sad if they don't do it, but I'd rather it not be done and save the money than try to half-ass it and put it somewhere where no one's going to see it, where it's going to obstruct the even more terrible traffic. I think we should figure out a way to work with our neighboring municipalities and do it correctly, or just not do it at all. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Is New Orleans Mardi Gras or Mobile Mardi Gras the real Mardi Gras? Argue in the comments below. But the real answer is C, the Eunice Mardi Gras. If you know, you know.
So in addition to that Dolly Parton Theater that was in Orange Beach, that they withdrew their application for the PUD, that might be coming to Gulf Shores, people have said. Rumor has it. So would you like that here? Would you like to see it down on 59? Would you like to see the traffic increase around that? Maybe you would. I think a good spot for it would be Oa. It's dead over there. Let Foley have it.
I say put it across the street from Lambert's. Let them throw some rolls to the pirates.
That makes sense. Pirate roll. So, yeah.
Build a pedestrian bridge. You can get right across to it.
And why are there no pedestrian, call them overbridge, like a little walkway that goes over from one side of West Beach to the next side so people aren't froggering across the road? That really, I thought about that. That's not as much money as a bazillion-dollar pedestrian bridge, and would be really helpful and actually save a lot of lives.
Isn't that technically gambling, game of chance, trying to cross that road?
It sure is.
And that's illegal.
Speaking of that, Doug Jones wants a state lottery, which is another thing I'd like to ask him about, because I thought you had to have a constitutional amendment for that. I don't know how a governor can just campaign on that and say that they want to make a lottery.
Do governors do executive orders for state?
I'm sure they do,
Do
but
they
they
have that
can't
power?
just make that without a constitutional amendment, from what I understand. So that's a question I'd like to ask in person before I make up my mind. But I hate when people just say, well, if you don't vote Tuberville, that means you're giving them all the power to the drag queen story hours and the masks and everything else. No, that's not what it means. It means I want to ask people to their face what they believe in and what their platform is, and have my questions answered before I make an assessment.
Hell yeah, only trans I know is I am.
So there's that. That's all I really got to say. Just checking in with everybody, seeing how you are in this political season wind down, as we have a little bit of a gap before that special primary, and then in November you have a general, and then we go on to the next thing, which is probate judge and Brenda out there.
No. So with that being said, y'all come to these meetings. They're every week. Do your best. I'm sure that you can make at least one or two. It's like church, at least go to one or two a year, Christmas, Easter kind of thing. Or else you're just a keyboard warrior who bitches at the leisure of your own home. And that doesn't count for anything.
There's a lot of those here on the island.
Yeah.
Island bitchers, they're called.
Is that what they're called?
Yes.
Well, I guess that's all we have, is it?
That's it.
That's all we have. We are WFUZ-TV. We are the news. Y'all have yourselves a Bluebell Country Day, and we will see you next time.